Your subordinates will be reported to DoorDash HQ.
Alexi, it's me. Open up.
We did 20 takes, and that was the best one.
The world of superhero comic books has seen huge advances in adaptations for the screen, and as it stands now, it is easily a billion-dollar franchise. But for a long time, there was one superhero film that flew under the radar and came perhaps a little bit too early before everything blew up. Constantine is that film. To date, this is the only film Keanu Reeves has said that he would love to do a sequel on, and I, for one, can't blame him. From the action sequences to the production design, Constantine is surprisingly a hidden gem of a movie that is done incredibly well for its time and from a filmmaking standpoint. And while yes, the idea of angels and demons isn't necessarily a new concept by any stretch, the way Constantine reimagines the idea as a gritty post-apocalyptic action thriller is one of the best uses of the concept that I've seen thus far. In this world, we watch a protagonist who is the bridge between two other earthly realms and who is essentially the quintessential charismatic, cynical anti-hero.
John, you really need to prepare. Make arrangements.
No need. I already know exactly where I'm going.
But what makes him so interesting is his relationship between the forces of good and evil and the battles he faces between heaven and hell. As a teenager, he committed suicide and is thus condemned to a life in hell. But as an adult, he seeks to do good by defending Earth from an invasion of demonic forces, and it's this dynamic contrast that reflects the deeper range of this brilliantly written character. John Constantine is someone who is burdened by the nature of evil that he knows is truly alive and real, to the point that it terrifies him to death. But he's also someone who deep down is a good individual with a noble heart, willing and able to fight back against the forces of evil because he knows that it's the right thing to do, and it's something that he's actually good at.
Close your eyes. And whatever happens, don't look.
Rather than give in to despair and being despondent, he chooses to take up his own cross and fight back. We see this interesting dynamic played out in one of the more memorable scenes from the film where Constantine meets Lucifer, who personally comes to collect his soul. There are so many little details about this scene that I've come to love, starting with the way Lucifer is introduced as a floating figure covered in a white suit with tar dripping from his feet. According to demonology, Lucifer is the prince of air and is said to appear as an angel of light. He also wields a handkerchief that upon closer inspection resembles that of a torch, bringing to call a reference to his name, which translates to Light Bringer. But when they meet, Constantine refers to him with the nickname Lou, implying subtly that they are old friends, like he's not afraid of him because they've already been well acquainted when Constantine was just a teenager. In reality, they are sworn enemies, and you can soon sense the hateful disdain between them, but the use of that nickname invokes that sense of something more personal between them. It echoes a sense that there is at least something cordial between them, and perhaps even a level of respect. In return, Lucifer praises Constantine and compliments him just as much as he mockingly laughs back and deep down wants to take his soul. It's here that we see this affliction Constantine has for dealing with evil, knowing and being aware of its presence, but all the while making sure that he doesn't give in to its temptations, how he chooses to stare at it face to face rather than shy away, and to ultimately be the true force of good.
Or is it another one of your cons? Look for yourself. You've waited 20 years for me, though. What's another 20 seconds?
This is why Constantine, or despite its potential flaws as a victim of early CGI technology, is still a shining example of why comic book adaptations still have their place in society, because it knows how to deliver on production design where it matters, while also making intelligent decisions both about the story and of the characters in its genuinely interesting, imaginative, and creative world. If there is to be a sequel, which hopefully looks likely, I only hope that it doesn't receive a watered-down treatment of something much more PG rated and safe, so that instead we get that same grittiness and darkly fascinating setting of the original, which doesn't hold back and chooses to show us what it means to take an original concept and to expand it to its limits, and to ultimately be that shining light of good amongst all the horrendous hell of endless, mediocre superhero movies we're currently being tortured with.